No, Chip isn't.
Oh, good Chip. Where's Ruth?
All right. I'd like to call the December 4th meeting of the Johns Creek Planning Commission to order. At this time, I'd like everyone to please silence your cell phones, except for those on the table up here. The Planning Commission has adopted procedures that are available to the rear of the chamber. There are also copies of the standards of review available to the public. The Planning Commission is a recommending body to the Mayor and City Council, and will use these standards as guidelines in conjunction with the public hearing to assist us in formulating a recommendation to the Mayor and City Council. The presiding officer will call cases on the agenda for a public hearing. First, the presiding officer shall recognize the Planning and Zoning Administrator to provide a summary of the application and present any recommendations or results of investigations. Staff shall then make a presentation of the case, after which members of the Planning Commission may ask questions of staff or other city representatives providing the report or recommendations. The applicant shall receive a time period of 10 minutes to present their case. The time is kept by the planning assistant. The applicant may choose to use their entire allotment or reserve time from their 10 minutes for rebuttal. Any member of the hearing body, upon recognition by the presiding officer, may ask questions of the applicant or the agent of the application. The period of questions from the Planning Commission is not deducted from the applicant's 10-minute period. Opposition is granted a time period of 10 minutes per application at the public hearing to present data, evidence, and opinions. If a large number of people wish to speak in opposition, it's advisable to designate spokespersons to make the presentation. The city is not obligated to provide the full 10-minute period to opponents if they elect not to use their time and the opposition is not granted a rebuttal period. Any member of the hearing body, upon recognition by the presiding officer, may ask questions of any persons giving public comment. After completing this process, the presiding officer will indicate the public hearing is closed. Upon closing the public hearing, the Planning Commission can no longer be addressed by the applicant or the opposition. At such time, the presiding officer will call for a motion, and if properly seconded, a vote on the matter. The presiding officer will then state the vote and the recommendation for the record. Present this evening via telephone is Commissioner Schaefer. To my right, present, Commissioner Sanders, and on the phone as well, Commissioner Lefebvre. First order of business is approval of minutes from the November 7th meeting. Is there a motion to approve as submitted or any changes to the minutes presented?
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Lefebvre to approve the minutes as submitted, seconded by Commissioner Sanders. All in favor, present, raise your right hand, say aye.
Aye.
On the phone, if you can indicate a positive.
Aye. Aye.
The motion is approved 4-0. First order of new business is land use petition RZ-18-009.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners. Tonight we only have one rezoning case, RZ-18-009. As you can see from the map, the parcel is located at 11300 Lakeview Drive. It's 2 acres, and the applicant is requesting to rezone this from M1A, which is Industrial Park District, to C1, which is Community Business District, to allow the fencing academy in an existing office building. Now we look at the existing condition first. The site is currently developed with a one-story, 10,000 square feet office building with 36 parking spaces. Next, I'm going to share some pictures from my site visit. On the left side, you can see the aerial map. Then you can see the arrow here, which indicates where I was standing when I took the picture and which direction the picture is positioned towards. So the first 2 pictures is showing you the elevation from the south and from the north. The next 2 is showing you the existing parking, which is to the east and to the south of the building. The red arrow you see here is the only ingress-egress, which is the right-in, right-out access on Lakeview Drive. The last one is showing you the nice view from the back of the building towards the lake. Next, we review what's being proposed here. So the applicant is proposing to open a fencing academy to provide fencing trainings and classes in the existing office building. The hours of operation will be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. from Monday to Friday, and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. The applicant is not proposing any building expansion or exterior renovation. They are just going to do some internal repurposing of the space. So from the side plan, you can see to your left is the blue, which is showing you the 6,000 square feet of fencing academy. They have some office spaces here and a huge fencing floor here. To your right is in green is 4,000 square feet of office spaces. Next, we move on to the rezoning review. The first one is compatibility with nearby land uses. The parcel is right here, which is outlined in black. Then you will see little dot, which is showing you the land use. So adjacent to the parcel to the north are two office buildings. A little bit further here is the new city hall, which is under construction right now. This is Johns Creek Municipal Court and Police Station across Lakefield Drive, which we are in right now. A little bit further is a World Financial Group office building. Across the street here is the Alcon office building. A little bit closer is a medical office. Then the green dot you see is the future city park, which is under design right now. Then you have two red, which is commercial use. One is the Sunrise Assisted Living. Another one is a hotel. As you can see, the parcel here is surrounded by a mixture of office, institutional, commercial, and recreational use. So we think the proposal is suitable. It can also provide recreational activities for employees in Tech Park if they are interested in fencing. The next is, does the property have a reasonable economic use as currently zoned? The parcel is zoned into M1A in 1983 under Fulton County rezoning case 1983Z-0141. As you can see, the use is limited to these. Also, based on our internal record, we can see the commercial building has been vacant for at least 2 years. So in conclusion, we think it has some economic use, however, it's limited. Next, we review the impact on infrastructure. First is the impact on transportation. So this is a chart showing you a trip generation comparison between current use, which is 10,000 square feet for office space, versus what's being proposed here. So the first row here is what's current use, and this is showing you the proposed use. Let's look at the peak hour traffic first. So for morning peak hour, as you can see, it's going to generate 6 fewer trips, since it's easy to understand, since the fencing academy portion is only open from 5 to 9 p.m. For evening peak hour, it's going to generate 13 more trips. For daily traffic, it's a little bit complicated. As you can see, the current use is generating 114 trips. For the future proposed, we know for sure for office use, it's generating 46. However, we don't have a daily trip generation number for fencing academy. But again, it's only open from 5 to 9, and based on this number you see here, we don't think it's going to be an excessive burden on road. Since there's no residential components to this proposal, we don't think this is going to have any impact on schools. The next is impact on existing parking. So under our zoning ordinance, we have minimum parking requirement based on use. So based on 4,000 square feet of office and 6,000 square feet of fencing, they need 44 parking space. However, we also have shared parking calculation. The concept is really simple. If you have multiple users sharing the same parking, and those users have different hours of operation, you don't need as many parking spaces as needed. So based on this chart, as you can see, they don't need more than 32 parking spaces. So in conclusion, we think the existing parking space are sufficient to support the proposal. The next one is the consistency with the comprehensive plan. This is showing you the character area of the comprehensive plan. As you can see, the parcel here is actually located within 2 character areas. to your left in yellow is Meadow Bridge. To your right in blue is Tech Park. It's also located within an activity node, which is here in a dotted line. So the policies under Tech Park listed personal service as appropriate commercial use. Under Meadow Bridge, the prediction is it's going to attract more service industry into the character area. Then under the activity node, both business service and education are listed as appropriate uses. So in conclusion, we think the proposal is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The next is other considerations. So this chart is showing you the boundary of the original rezoning. As I said, this parcel is zoned into M1A in 1983, which is 35 years ago. The original M1A zoning governed 627 acres, as you can see here, outlined in gray. The original vision for Tech Park is a light industrial office park. And this is a comparison chart of the zoning as of today. At first glance, you can see it's more colorful. So the red you see here is commercial, which is along 141. The blue you see here is office institutional use. The light green is apartment, and the dark green is residential. As you can see, the free market, the invisible hand, has transformed Tech Park in the past 35 years. So we think the proposed commercial use is compatible with the trend. So in conclusion, we recommend approval of land use petition RZ-18-009 with the following conditions. The first condition is all previous M1A zoning condition applied to the subject property shall be repealed, and the C1 zoning condition shall be applied. Please allow me to provide some reasoning for repealing the entire M1A zoning condition. First, the M1A zoning condition covered 627 acres. I went through the original zoning condition one by one, and 99.99% doesn't even apply to the sites. The second reason is the M1A zoning condition was written when Tech Park are just farmland. So a lot of the zoning conditions are talking about dedication of right-of-way or talking about stormwater treatment before LDP. So they are no longer applicable to this zoning to this site since it's already been satisfied through development. That's why we think all the zoning conditions under M1A should be repealed. And by C1 condition, I mean C1 condition under our zoning ordinance. I review the existing structure on the site and I make sure it's in compliance with C1 condition requirement as of today. That's why that's my reasoning for repealing the existing zoning condition. And the second zoning condition we propose is the site shall be limited to the following commercial, office, and accessory uses at a maximum of 10,000 square feet. The first use is office, and the second use is school of business, dance, music, or similar schools. And this is the end of my presentation. I would be happy to answer any question if you have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we'll open the public hearing. If the applicant would like to come forward and tell us a little bit about what you'd like to do. And just please keep in mind that 10 minutes. And if you'd state your name and address for the record.
Mic test. First of all, I would like to thank you for being here. I know there's only one case. I know we're using the technology to gather for Quorum, so thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Yang, for a great presentation. I provided her with all the information that I had, and she did an awesome job to bring it to you. Basically, Georgia is very. I read an article that Georgia is ranked number 31 out of 50 in education, which is kind of shameful. When it comes down to fencing, kind of similar story. So when we go to summer nationals, those national tournaments, out of about 350 on average fencers, there are only about 25 fencers from Georgia. And last NEC that we had, NEC stands for the national tournaments, there was zero fencer who placed top 50 from Georgia. So New York and LA, they're very strong in fencing. Texas, but here is it's not really strong. At the same time, there are many nearby schools, high schools, that have fencing teams. So every Saturday they meet and practice, and every month they do high school tournaments. At each tournament, there are more than 300 fencers coming. So I know there is a good soil, good fencers, but we need good fencing clubs. I'm going to recruit many good nationally or globally recognized fencing coaches, bring them to Johns Creek and Georgia, and raise the good fencers. Imagine our children in high school, they, historically, statistically, good fencers are good in academics too. So if you're good in fencing, if you study well, they'll go to good universities. In fact, from our club, located in Smyrna, this is my son goes to that club. There's a guy named Safi who got recruited by Yale University this year, so he's going there. So imagine our children in Johns Creek City, which is a Johns Creek High School and Northview High School, if they go to those NCAA strong fencing schools, including all the Ivy League schools, they'll have great success. And this is their home, so they'll probably come back and they'll live here and they'll practice their professional practice. And that will eventually make Johns Creek better city to live in, better city to do business in, and that's why I'm doing this. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. And I apologize, I missed your name at the beginning.
Jeff Kim.
Mr. Kim.
I'm a father of 3. I live here in Johns Creek, and I do business here in Johns Creek as well.
Great, thank you, Mr. Kim. If anyone else would like to come and speak in support of the application? No? Mr. Kim, would you like to reserve the balance of your time in case anyone has any objections, or would you save it for rebuttal?
Should I? Yes.
You got 7 minutes left. Yeah.
Okay.
Just go ahead and save your time. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
If anyone is here and would like to come speak in opposition, if you would come forward. And please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. I'm Mary Beth Cooper. I'm representing the Johns Creek Community Association. I'm the zoning chair. My biggest challenge with this is rezoning from M1A to C1. In staff report, which I have just seen, I have great concerns that staff is referring to a comp plan that was not in place when this zoning was filed and should not be referred to in the staff report. So on page 11, sentence 3 in the first paragraph, Johns Creek City Council also voted unanimously to adopt the city's new comprehensive plan on October 8th, 2018. The vision for Tech Park is to redevelop the suburban office park into a live, work, play destination. That doesn't apply here. This case wasn't filed under that. We need to be cognizant of the zoning cases right now before this commission and before the city council, that we apply the proper comprehensive land use plan. The land use plan this was filed under is the 2008 plan. If that is what the 2008 plan said, it needs to be referred to that, not to the one that was approved on October 8th. The only other statement that I thought was interesting, and only because I noticed it, there is another fencing academy in Johns Creek. It's right up the street at Medlock Bridge and Abbott's Bridge. I have concerns that if something happens and they're not able to bring in the students they want, all of a sudden you've got a building that is now rezoned C1. And anything can go in there without coming before this planning commission again with these conditions. So it could be a regular school. It could be 6 dance academies. It could be somebody who wants to teach striptease dancing. We don't know because it's only conditioned by that. I think this is an M1A component. It needs to stay an M1A component. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Anyone else who'd like to come and speak in opposition? Okay, in that case, the time for the opposition will be forfeited the balance of the time. Mr. Kim, if you'd like to come and respond to what Ms. Cooper had to say, or you can forfeit the rest of your time. And once again, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Ki-young Kim. I'm actually live in 550 Oak Alleyway, Johns Creek. Mm-hmm. And also I'm architect for the business project. And yeah, I understand what she has concern, but I believe this area will be more the community-friendly area instead of the industrial zone. That's what I understand from the comprehensive plan. And also, I think there is no section about the competition in zoning ordinance. The businesses always compete each other, and the better business always success. So I don't think it is a right reason for the oppose this zoning case. That's what I think. So I believe I mean research for the area, and also I live in Johns Creek. That's why I'm more interested in the area is more community friendly instead of industrial zone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. If anyone else would like to come and speak in support, if not, Mr. Kim?
Well, I get a chance.
Absolutely. There are 5 minutes left.
Great, thank you. So I don't really understand the first part of her argument because I'm not an architect. I don't work for the city. But the second part of her argument is kind of bothering me because I'm a father of 3, and I'm trying to put the fencing academy there, and I don't have any other business plans or anything like that. So, you know, it's just like I just wanted to kind of express myself, and you know, so that's pretty much about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. If anyone else would like to come forward, the applicant will forfeit the balance of their time as well. And we will close the public hearing. Question for staff. Ms. Cooper referred to the October 8th, 2018 versus the prior plan. What is the city's official position on kind of cases that were pending or ongoing, and what they should relate to?
So this particular case came in under the 2008 comprehensive plan and was reviewed under the 2008 comprehensive plan. That's why the maps that we showed you showed the activity node and the Medlock Bridge Corridor and Technology Park and its location sort of straddling those two character areas. It was not reviewed with any impact from the new comprehensive plan that was passed recently.
Understood. So this is more just a forward-looking statement that
Yes, than it was anything else.
It appears to not only meet with the prior plan, but will also meet with the future plan.
Correct.
Okay.
That was the only comment that we were trying to say.
Thank you. And was there a reason why y'all picked those specific recommendations under Section 2B, School of Business, Dance, Music, or similar schools? I guess similar schools is a little vague. Is there a way to further define that?
We cannot change the uses in the C1 zoning district, so what we do is we attempt to locate those uses that mirror what is being proposed and try to limit it to just those two uses.
Okay.
So obviously the applicant is proposing that a portion of the building be office uses, and the other one that most closely resembles the fencing academy would fall under the definition of schools, and then they list a couple of examples. So that is why we limit it to that, as opposed to the plethora of activities that could be allowed in a C1 zone, yes.
Okay.
Would there be a way to maybe remove similar schools and just say?
It's just listed as schools, and like I said, I don't have the authority to change or alter uses under any of
Under
the
C1.
zoning, so I have to use whatever is cited.
But there wouldn't be any chance that it would be anything, like if, let's say that the fencing academy, for whatever reason, didn't work, and then somebody came back in, now it's rezoned to C1. Could they put in a retail store?
No, they would have to, like any
So
zoning
limited to this.
condition, they would have to come back and rezone if they wanted to do any other uses other than those two that are listed here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm going to make a motion for approval of RZ 18009 with staff recommendations.
A second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Floyd, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Because we're not all present, I'm going to ask everyone to kind of speak one at a time. Commissioner Schaefer?
Yay.
Commissioner Floyd? Aye. Commissioner Sanders?
Aye.
Commissioner LaFave?
Aye.
All right, motion passes 4-0. Congratulations, Mr. Kim. Good luck. Any departmental updates?
We do have one. We've put in your package proposed 2019 calendar dates. I don't necessarily need your decision tonight, but I will when we come into January. Is that correct, Mia? They could talk about it and not vote on it tonight? Okay, I thought so. So considering that not everybody is here present, I would say take it home, take a look at the proposed dates. There is one date in September that falls the Tuesday right after Labor Day. We're not sure if that's a date that everybody will be back if they're traveling over Labor Day, so you may want to bump that to the following Tuesday. But also take a look again at all of the dates. We try to ensure that we don't have the meeting on the first week of April because we know that a lot of people are out with school vacations. Similar around the 4th of July. We try to avoid that week for similar reasons, but I would encourage everybody to take a look and to make sure that for the majority that everybody can attend these meetings.
Okay.
I did look at them, and I'm good with all of the dates. I probably would suggest doing the 10th of September.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I've looked them over. So, yeah, that would be my suggestion, is go with 9/10.
Okay. All right, so we will bring this back. I don't think it's a technical vote, but like I said, since we are missing a few other members, I think I'll wait and just make sure everybody has a say in the thing.
I would probably suggest sending out an email and just because this could have gotten lost in the shuffle. Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
recognize what it was.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I
So
would
I
just
didn't
send
bring
out
it
an
tonight.
email.
We will. We'll send it
expecting
out
that.
and ask everybody to give us their opinion.
Right,
Okay.
thank you. Any other updates?
No.
That's it. Well, in that case, I will move to adjourn.
I will second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emmett. Bye-bye.